everyone, and welcome to RezoCast episode 127. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove and Wilson. And this week, we are talking about all the Gambit Prime stuff that's going on. Reckoning Tier 3 came out. Wilson did some fun stuff this week I'm excited to hear about. And I got my Recluse finally. So it has been a good week. Thanks to Wilson, actually.
GG, I didn't do anything, but I was cannon fodder.
And I didn't do anything of note, apparently.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Hove, how has your week been? What's been going on, man?
It's been pretty good, man. Doing some Destiny stuff. I'm ashamed to say, though, the Invitation to the Nine thing, really confused because I'm an idiot, not because it was confusing.
Did you not pick it up?
No. I played Destiny all weekend, but I did, Gambit Prime and the Reckoning, and then I was like, oh, Tuesday, it's reset. Let's go check out this Invitation to the Nine thing. And I was like, there's nothing here. What is this? Let me Google this. This is ridiculous. Do I have to find it? And they were like, buy this from the Zur. And I was like, it's Tuesday? Oh, shit. So, yeah, I forgot about that. But been playing a lot of The Division 2, which is
see that.
good.
Right.
I am thoroughly enjoying.
So it's
Division
as good
2.
as people say it. I feel like I've heard nothing but good things.
The first playthrough, the story and stuff is similar to Division 1. But from what I understand, I forget who put it this way, so it's not my quote, but pretty much once you get to the end game is as big as the game. It's not just there's a raid this time. The whole game changes. It's the whole world evolves, and there's end game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I didn't get to that yet, but just what I've heard. But it's really, really good. If you were on the fence, anybody that's listening, I recommend it so far. Apex, Destiny, God damn it. Also, I don't know if you saw Lego. I know you don't play, and Wilson, we don't play often. But did you see in April there's a new anniversary patch for Sea of Thieves? They're introducing something called, I forget, but it's an arena player versus player thing with fast-paced matches and loot, so you can test yourself against other pirates, something like that. New vendor and new quests that are story-driven quests.
Yeah. Let's go questing, dog.
Right?
I'm saying.
Also, speaking of The Division, you guys keep freezing when you're staring at me, and it's awkward, and I'm scared.
It's doing it for us too. It's not just you. It's all of us. We're in this together, man.
Okay.
Just push through.
But you're so scared.
Right?
I'm so scared.
Hold my hand.
Me and Dewey
Hold my hand.
Me and Dewey were playing. We were playing the Division 2 and talking about Sea of Thieves, and I was like, all I could think about was how Briar and Wilson first met in the Dark Zone, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, that son of a bitch.
And Dewey's like,
God,
he was like,
him.
the more I play with you guys and get to know Briar and play with him, I realize everyone thinks he's a big fluffy teddy bear, and that man will fucking shoot you in the back if it's gonna get a laugh. And I was like, that is exactly right.
100%. Briar's the son of a bitch, and that's why we love him. So
I do love you too, Briar.
Real quick,
we also blew up a boat one time and jumped off our boat onto the boat that we were blowing up in Sea of Thieves, and then we realized that we had no one on our boat.
I remember that.
So we were stuck on a sinking ship, literally. We were fucked. It was amazing.
Real quick, I was just gonna say, Hove, if Discord keeps being weird like this, we could always switch servers to a different region.
I was just thinking that I just have to. Here's the funny part about switching.
It seems fine right now.
Yeah, it does. But I can't get to any of the options while it's in full screen.
Gotcha.
So that's fine. I have no problem shrinking it down, but then chat will pop up. And I'm pretty sure the last thing in chat.
Oh.
Yeah. So we might want to just hope that it works. Sorry.
Nah, it's fine. Well, I was just gonna say, for those listening, I know I don't normally do this, but I feel like I need to clarify for any new listeners we have on iTunes or Google Play, wherever you're listening. Man, we are a Destiny clan podcast, but we also talk about other games from here and there, especially intro and towards the end of the podcast, we'll talk about other stuff. But mainly, we talk about Destiny since that's what our clan kind of revolves around. But now it's starting to revolve around Division 2 a little bit too. So.
I wouldn't say it's I'm the only one playing it right now.
No, not the podcast, but the clan. I mean, the clan.
We also like to talk about Marvel and strippers.
Yeah.
And Pokemon.
Some of those things, yeah. And Wilson, how's your week been, man?
My week was great, dude. It was super chill, laid back, did a lot of grinding, got all my Guardians to like 695 plus.
Oh,
I think
shit.
my Warlock and my Hunter are both 699 right now, so I'm chilling. I'm feeling
Dang, man, you're the top.
feeling ready for Iron Banner, and then there's gonna be a way for them to add 100 light to their level, so I got excited for nothing. But which I'm sure we'll talk about the 12 later. There is a way to boost your light in the upcoming Iron Banner, but it's been really cool. I did my first Last Wish raid this week.
Dang.
I had so much happen, dude. I got a Jotun.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't even.
You did tier 3 stuff with Reckoning.
I did. We did tier 3. I did a Last Wish raid, which shout outs to WTF Game Nation. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. They just booted their stream up and they were like, I was thinking if Wilson won raid with us today, and I was like, I've never done Last Wish, and they were all about it. They took in 2 other people who hadn't done it, and every encounter we got like better and better. So for like the first encounter, I think it took us 4 tries, something like that. I kept running. You have to damage like the wizard or the Techian or whatever, and then after you do damage, only a certain number of little windows open up for you to all seek refuge in before there's a white mechanic. And we had assigned numbers left to right, top to bottom, like a book. And there was a few times I took the wrong door and screwed someone over, and you make mistakes. But there was an encounter, the big ogre. I mean, it's super easy. We knocked that out, no problem. It was super cool. It felt really long, dude. Like
That's what she said.
Like King, she did. It's true. It felt like King's Fall long, like when it first launched, and like before everybody had it on farm, so to speak. So it was super stressful. I got a cool fusion rifle out of it. Didn't get the supremacy, which is what I was really after. No 1K voices, but I had a great time, and that's the most important thing. Learned a lot. No cheese. Did it all legit. That's how those guys roll. So it was really cool. Thanks to them, because I mean, it's been what, 6 months, and I just now getting into it, So they took me through my first Prestige Leviathan, my first Last Wish, and my first Scourge.
Nice.
So, yeah, appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Sounds like a good time. Well, speaking
man.
of that,
Other than that, just been grinding, dude. I'm trying to get an OEM so I could be super sweaty in the Crucible. And I picked up a new sniper, Bite of the Fox. I had it in my vault for the longest time. Super snappy, pairs well with Luna if you want to sweat. And I kind of took on this mentality recently of sniping, peeking, sliding, or jumping out into a lane, popping my shot, and if I miss it, just completely disengaging and playing like super snappy and super speedy, like not trying to go for the headshot, just go for the body shot and clean it up with like a melee or like a Luna shot. Like quit trying to be flashy about it and just get the kill. And it's been working really well for me, especially on a Titan with that mobility. So I've been playing a lot of Titan this week and enjoying it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Dude. Quickly, since you guys gave me shit last week, I was very close to finishing it, but I was busy. I did, the day after we recorded the podcast, finish the Allegiance quest on the Drifter side.
Yeah, buddy.
Since we already talked, since you guys kind of gave your opinions, I just wanted to tell you mine real quick.
I'm curious.
My biggest takeaway from it is that the Drifter tries to be this like badass, and I think he's really just like a high school girl trapped in like a 4,000-year-old man's body.
So he is Nana.
Yeah, he's, well, he like. I mean, let's be honest. You did the Drifter side, right, Wilson? He pretty much like
100%.
Let's be honest. He makes you like a mixtape, and like pours his heart and soul out to you. And then when you go back for the final step, the flavor text in the thing even says like, "Oh, good, you're here." The Drifter was really nervous. You wouldn't want to talk to him after he told you how he felt or whatever. And I was like, "Really?
Man.
Really?
That mixtape was fire, dog." Like, of course, I want to talk to you.
But like that just felt
you put
so
Boyz
like
II Men on there.
Yeah, he comes across as this like I'm so badass, and then he's like, what was the phrase he used? And he was like, you probably don't know what that means, but it means, we used to say that back in the day. It just means we're friends, we're tight, like you kids would say these days. You remember that?
Oh yeah, what did he say? Crap.
but like he like
You're
bounces
my workhorse.
Something horse. I don't think it was workhorse, but it's the
You're my
wheels are turning.
workhorse. Back in the day, that's our way of saying however you can
It
say
wasn't
tight
work.
or
It
something
wasn't
like that.
workhorse though. It was
You
close.
know what I mean,
It's
though.
got
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, he like I don't know. It was just really it was funny to me because he's like telling you all this stuff and he like very clearly like beats around the bush to just saying like, "Hey man, thanks for being there. Thanks for being my friend." He says all this like
funny.
awkward stuff.
I never took him as like a badass. I always took him as like a shifty, quick on his feet, do whatever it takes to get to the next deal that you're gonna fuck up.
He's a
That's
kind of
fair,
guy.
survivalist.
but he's also
Like, he's the
killed a lot of people.
No, he
Yeah.
has. I mean, a lot of guardians have killed a lot of shit. You know
Well,
what I mean? Like,
okay,
but I
named
get what
people
you're
with
saying.
friends
I,
and-
he's
yeah.
there's shades of gray, and he's clearly in the heavier shade of gray. You know what I mean? Like, done a little
Now-
bit more dark bad things.
I'm still not convinced that like he's come out and maybe like him and the Vanguard are both like trying to do what's right. They're both kind of good guys because that's kind of what he wants you to think, like
Yeah.
that he's trying to help, which I could still see happening, but I could also see this being that like fairly classic movie thing where like the main character starts siding with the bad guy. Everyone knows he's the bad guy, but the main character, you know, he's like he's convinced that he's not that bad, blah blah blah. And then there's a point where he's like, "Gotcha, like I am a fucking bad guy."
Oh, you know
I
what's
definitely think he's
really-
out for his own interests.
That's
sure.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting about that whole thing is I keep thinking about because all of this is somehow entwined with Sabathun coming. Like it keeps being in the background of every one of these things happening. And the whole thing about Sabathun is she's all about manipulation and lies. And the more that she lies and people believe them, the stronger she becomes. And why do we have an enemy that's coming that is built on lies when we're having like this thing go on where you're trying to figure out what the truth is? You know what I mean? Like it seems too purposeful to not be intentional. And like I'm not saying this is what it is, but like wouldn't it be crazy if like the Drifter was somehow tied to Sabbath? And it's not too, I guess it's not too far out there because he's dealing with a bunch of dark stuff that's very Hive related. And I'm not saying, but I think that would be interesting, Hove, if so many people are like, yeah, we're in the gray area. We're not necessarily bad guys, but we're just kind of renegades, you know, because people like that feel. And then it turns out it's like way darker than you even thought that it was, you know. But it kind of ends on a lighter note, I feel like, that Allegiance quest, because I know you didn't get the lore for Anor's book.
Yeah, I didn't do the
but-
Vanguard side yet.
Ooh,
But
I did. It's
it-
juicy. It is
Yeah,
juicy.
There's a lot of stuff, dude.
It's so good.
The very end of it, where there's a showdown basically between the Drifter and he comes across some Dreadgen people, and it's where no, I don't want to say that, but he comes across some Dreadgen people, and then Anor shows up with like a team of the Praxic Order, and there's this showdown.
Praxic tryhards.
Yeah, and basically the Drifter helped Anor find these people. Wait, no, I'm getting confused because it's not the Drifter who shows up. The Drifter gave them the information, but it's not Dreadgen. It's Shin Malfur. Like it's assumed that that's who it is,
Right.
who they come across. Who's
Dude,
like,
I like the possible romance between Zavala and Ikora. Did you read that part?
Ooh, I don't think I read that part.
It wasn't
What?
okay. It's hella speculation because they had like, when I say a moment, I mean like that was it, like a moment. Like it was like as quickly as you could take a breath. And it was kind of, I mean, like maybe not. Like basically they were just talking about like how fractured the Vanguard is right now and how it's
yeah.
like impossible to replace a Hunter Vanguard. Like how do you even go about doing that? You know what I mean? Like we're the most obvious candidate for that, but like you can't keep us tied down to the tower, man. Like, but basically, like, I think either Ikora, I think it was Zavala, put his hand on Ikora's knee because she was like, "I miss Cade," and he like put his hand on her knee and like took a deep sigh and was like, "Me too." You know what I mean? Like at the
I
end of
see.
their discussion, and it was like,
Yeah.
it was kind of a sad, heartwarming moment between the Vanguard. But
Yeah.
if I had to guess, man, I think they're, sounds to me like the Vanguard might be on the outs here pretty
Yeah.
soon. Like just the whole structure of the tower,
Yeah.
the
There's
Concordet
also-
and all that. And
There's also a lot of like lore going out right now about the Vanguard Dare, that hunters take. And so, and we know, there's all this speculation with the Prince Aldrin coming back and everything, and how's that gonna play into everything. But it's interesting. I feel like Bungie, Destiny in general right now is so meta, the lore. Like, they're very aware of what we're thinking about as we're reading these things. And even to the point of going back to the Savathun stuff, the last lore entry that I got for her was talking about how the more that all these people spread, like, talk about her basically and what she could be, basically what we do on this podcast and speculate, the more powerful she becomes, the more people are talking about her. And I'm like,
she's like
this
Beetlejuice.
is so meta right now. Yes, I love
think
it.
It's important to note, though, Lego, in case you were a little unaware, when we talk about her, it doesn't actually make her stronger because we're in real life.
No, I know.
Okay, I was just checking.
No, I know.
My immersion.
But you can play around. I love stuff that messes with you in that way, where it's like it kind of bleeds into the IRL forms of things and makes it very like in between. I know it's
some Dungeons and Dragons shit, man.
Yes,
you talk about it and it
exactly.
gets
It immerses
stronger.
you.
I love that, dude. It's a mind twist, man. Great. I can't wait to see, dude. That raid's gonna be fucking hard. I'll just point out the raids have gotten okay. I don't want to say progressively harder because Vault of Glass and then Crota, and then what King's Fall. I'd say King's Fall forward. It seems like raids have gotten progressively harder. Maybe not Leviathan.
Well, here's the thing though. They've gone back and forth so much, and like we've talked about when they come out, like some of them have gone from they're hard. Like King's Fall never got easier, because it was so mechanic driven. Like you could do it, you would higher light, but like it still took a long time. You still had to be in the right spots. You couldn't cover for people as much.
Still did 16 orb strat, whether it was challenge or not. Yeah.
And then you have some that were maybe even really difficult right off the bat and took forever just because of the combat. And as you leveled up and as you learned, they became much faster. You know what I mean? There's much different ways of looking at them being difficult. I agree with you.
Yeah,
but like there's two different difficulty styles, I guess.
Because like day one blind back in like the Tower Life days, we got on day one 2 Oryx. I love my boys. I love everyone that I play with, but like the ragtag Bad News Bears fire team that I usually have after experiencing Last Wish would not have figured most of that shit out like at all. Like there's some pretty heavy stuff.
So you think
there.
the
Maybe
mechanics got more like in depth?
Some do, and then like obviously excluding the layers, those were pretty cool. Like I did day one with DCP and like Granite Holtzman.
We don't speak of them here.
That's true. Well, you're right.
Oh, I got something to say on
Granite Holtzman and CC Kuhn are extremely smart, and like usually me and Briar are just like point us at something to kill. You know what I mean? Like,
and then Briar dies anyway.
Me and Briar holding hands.
Well, the raid stuff though, with getting harder and stuff, I like that they're appealing to 2 different crowds, because we've got because I feel what you're saying, that it actually is harder in the second way, the more mechanical and like you have to like call out these code words, and there's so many of them in D2, way more than anything in D1. But they've also provided a lot of single player raid like experiences that we never got into, and like some really cool ones. So already so far, it's only been, it hasn't been, D2's been out for a while, but in comparison to D1, it's still like half the life. And so we've got the Whisper of the Worm quest, which was an awesome raid like experience. We had the Shattered Throne, which was a really cool in-depth raid like thing. Just did that again with Wilson and Marcus, like, because I'm not a huge PvE player. I don't go into all that stuff all the time, but we just jumped into that again, and I thought I had a lot of fun going through that again. And
you just
then
followed Marcus around for the first half of it
until
it's a linear path.
Marcus
was like, boring bird. We're like, oh yeah, boring bird. That's back this way, right?
Yeah. And then thirdly, we also have this new tier 1 through 3 of the Reckoning is kind of like a mini raid. Like, I know it's not to the extent size wise of these other experiences, but there's different mechanics depending on what week you go in, and it's not as light as like Court of Oryx or one of those things. Like, it feels more like a short,
feels like King's Fall, the thrallway up to the bridge.
Crota's, yeah.
Yeah, not King's Fall, my bad. I'm sorry. Same family, wrong raid. But yeah, it feels like Crota when you're going through the thrallway, and so you get to the bridge. Like, there's that, you do the bridge in the tier 2 or the tier 3, and it's super for days. You've got it coordinated who's looking which way, and then you either get like the Oryx fight, the Shade of Oryx, which is super easy if you ask me. A little disappointing that you can kind of cheese it with a well. There's a stagger mechanic. You can bypass that if someone throws down a well and you don't do enough DPS to stagger him.
Gotcha. I didn't
The
realize
Knights,
that.
however, ruthless, dude.
The Knights, yeah.
Ruthless. It's like you went to like the Hive Pound and got like the meanest, baddest dogs that you could find and put those 2 at the end of the strike, because those are some sons of bitches. We ended up getting it done in the nick of time, like clutched it.
Do you think the Hive have dogs?
What's that?
Do you think the Hive have dogs?
Dude, it'd be cool, man, because like
Dude,
the Cabal
they
do.
actually.
Like pets.
They use the Cabal dogs in the new Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
there's Taken Cabal dogs.
That's
yeah.
Taken. I said Hive.
I know, but it's like
similar.
Yeah. I mean, there wouldn't be Taken without Hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make them.
That's like if we created robots and you're like, no, robots are a totally different thing. Like, we created
Robots are different.
Yeah, but they're our creation.
But that doesn't mean they're people.
No, that's not what I'm getting at. Okay, I see what you're getting at, and you're right, but you got to see where I'm coming from.
No, I do.
And
I just want a Hive dog.
I do too, man. What would you name it?
Hivey? I don't know.
That's a grocery store, but okay.
Wait, it is?
Yeah, you don't have Hiveys around you?
No.
What?
I'm not fucking with you. Like, does anyone in chat have a Hy-Vee that can confirm
I don't think I would
this?
order food from a place called Hy-Vee.
Maybe it's just a Midwest thing.
Maybe.
But it's not like Hy-Vee, like H-I-V-E-Y. It's like HIV-EE or some shit like that.
That's even worse. It's like telling you it's going to give you HIV. This place is very Hy-Vee. We're going to give...
Well, when you put it that way, holy shit.
I'm never going there. Rip.
Fucking hell, you just ruined that store forever.
I could never go there.
Dude, the Reckoning, though, is actually... I thought that those encounters, like you were saying...
Maybe it's HYV. Sorry.
AIDSy.
Like, I'm having a moment.
It's getting
Don't
worse
worry.
and
At
worse.
least you don't have Hy-Vee's parent company, AIDSy.
That's true.
Terrible.
This is bad.
I'm suing
This is
them.
really bad. So I thought that the bridge encounter, like you were saying, Wilson, was really fun. I did think it... so the first time I went in, Wilson, because you were already 690 when you went in. Did you try it at all at 680?
No, I wasn't about...
Dude,
I wasn't gonna matchmake for that.
It was crazy, and I almost got it done one time while I was under level. It was the... I'm trying to remember if it was Oryx or if it was the Night. It was the Night guys, because it was the week before. It was the first week. And we got one of them down, and we got the last one down to like 10%. Like, it was so close. And it was with... You almost have to go in with a Radiant, Well of Radiance, and a Tether. And then your other two are kind of just more DPS stuff.
I soloed it.
But it was tough at 680. And then at 690, I was finally able to go in by myself just with blueberries. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's kind of like a solo raid experience, because I can kind of matchmake for it, go in, and was able to get I got a full set of armor, 3 different legs, arms, and chest. Legs, arms, and chest, all at with the Reaper set that I wanted. And so all I need is one more, the Titan Mark, to get the full set. But then went in with you, Wilson and Margus, and was Spiffy with us, or was it just us 3? I can't remember. And we got one of them done. And so I've got like a few pieces to choose from now that are all that level 3 notorious gear, I guess. And I think it's really fun. I think it's like really it's cool that they have a raid like thing for solo players now. I feel like it's something the Destiny community asked for a really long time, and I thought it was a really enjoyable experience, because when we got tier 1 of the Reckoning, I think I talked about it on the podcast, I wasn't as like, I was like, oh, this is fun, but I really just like Gambit Prime. and I was kind of disappointed it wasn't like a haunted forest experience. And now I really like it. Now that I experienced tier 2
On that
and
note,
3.
something I since it came up, I can't stop thinking about it. What would you name your Hive dog, Lego?
Oh man, a Hive dog.
I know what I would name him. One of two things.
I feel like I'd name him what he looked like, and so, like,
Ivy. He
well,
looks
I imagine a Zur like ogre, like if Zur mashed up with an ogre and then mixed in with a Cabal dog, like all three of those things put together. And
so
like,
you'd call him Zur Ogre Cabal Dog?
no, more like you know, like worm
call
face
for short.
or
Worm
something like
face.
that.
All right, Wilson.
Yeah.
Diroxes.
I guess it kind of
Just
fits.
Sounds
Is that-
Hive-ish.
is that the
you know,
Pokemon,
could be, you know, Diroxes. I don't know.
Isn't there a Pokemon that kind of has a name like that? The big white bird, isn't it? Diox.
Dialga?
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce it. Apparently, that's it.
Do you want to know what mine would be?
It's a dragon.
Oh, okay.
I can't decide between two.
It's Palkia as well.
I can't decide between Scrota and Steve.
Scrota. Yeah.
How do you feel about Steve?
Scrota.
Yeah,
Steve, not as much. Like Steve Jobs. If it was Steve Jobs,
I'm gonna name my Hive
if
dog
this Hive-
Steve Jobs.
If this Hive dog was a real fucker and like ate food off the table when you weren't in the room, like 100% the first option. But if it's just like a cuddly lovable, like definitely Steve.
I mean, have you met a cuddly lovable Hive? I know you're trying to think of something to say. Yeah.
I'm
but
well, like,
you know,
dude,
you're a liar.
Thrall try to hug me all the time.
No, they're trying to fuck you up.
violently hug you.
Yeah.
I think that's a misperception, man. They're just
want
trying
some
to give you a
love.
hug, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever think of that?
Free hugs.
Maybe they're like a koala or a sloth when they hug you and they hurt you and they don't mean to.
Maybe they're trying
why
to
aren't
scissor
there-
you.
Oh, wouldn't it be awesome if there were
I'm all
actual,
for it.
like I know this would never work, like, because Destiny's like an online game, but if there were Destiny mods because it's on PC now, you know, if that were possible, could you imagine like Thrall running around with like free hug shirts?
No,
or,
you know what would be great? Thrall with Lego's face on them.
Yeah, that too. That'd be
Specifically
great.
Lego, like big smile, blue eyes, all happy, but like
It'd be like 100 chicken-sized Legos running around.
That's what I want my ghost when it pops up to be that picture of
Of
Lego,
Lego.
that you had on the phone.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
A Lego projection.
Hey,
It would literally be like,
man.
because like your ghost is the equivalent of like a smartphone in
listen,
Destiny.
I do want to
No,
tell you
Deoxys.
this
That's
is
what
important.
Atlas got it. The Pokemon I was thinking was Deoxys, however you say
Yeah,
that.
you-
I don't know.
He's a mythical raid boss with 3 forms.
Listen, important stuff. Are you ready for this? If we get to, hold on, I gotta find it. I gotta find it. I don't remember where to find it. If we get 4 more subs, we're at 21. If we get to 25, we unlock 1 more emote slot, which
Oh.
is already.
Hive dog.
Oh no, it's
Hive dog.
gonna be a Lego Kappa. It's gonna be that circle Lego face
Oh my god.
for sure.
Can we make it tier 1 so everyone can use it?
See that it's difficult because like the
That's
taco
for
hype
the world.
and the
That's
lurking.
for the world. There are
Okay, well, which
people-
one do you take? Which one do you take out of tier 1 though? Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. You get a third tier 1. They're all going to be
Yeah.
tier 1. Yeah. So you'll have
go.
you'll have taco hype. You'll have the eyebrow lurk.
That smile is
Yeah.
for the world. Actually, it's for the universe. They should have.
my
They should.
gosh,
They should
y'all.
broadcast that out into space.
Wait, quickly.
I just wonder if podcast listeners are like listening in and like they have no idea what I look like. They've never seen my face. You know,
I think
and they're
there's a
just-
good way
I
that we
wonder
could
what they're imagining.
we could cure that if maybe for 1 week you change the podcast logo on iTunes to that face.
To
1
the
week
circle.
Lego.
Hey,
My
don't
face.
don't get crazy. The description still doesn't even say that you or Man are part of the podcast. All right.
Oh wow, that's awful.
Wait, quickly. Best line. Atlas just said in chat, if a thrall looked like Lego, I'd turn my life over to the Lord. My Lord and Savior salvation.
My god.
Right.
Oh man. Okay, what were we talking about? Tier 3 Reckoning. I
And
got
derail.
the Swashbuckler hand cannon. That new one that has the perk that does extra damage when you punch someone, so that's cool.
Yeah, man.
I haven't really tried it out yet though. I mainly just ran it for the gear. But getting off topic a little bit with something else from my week, because I also got the Recluse, as I mentioned earlier, thanks to Wilson, but I also ran some comp with Cosmo and Pope Bear and one of the other guys from WTF Nation. And I have to say, after playing comp with Pope Bear, I understand why, DCP's afraid to challenge us. I get
He's
it
toxic.
now.
He's toxic.
Wow.
I struggled for a little bit to understand why they were afraid to take us on, but I get it now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did you see that
Mark
post that he put on
this-
Twitter that he had dirt on my true toxic nature and nothing
Yeah.
ever came of it?
Wow.
Yeah, I
The
know.
people were waiting for this
They're
bombshell of evidence, and
I just want to mark this in like stone tablets on a mountain somewhere because Lego just came out and talked shit.
he did. He got a
Last
little
week,
toxic.
Pope, he tried to be nice to Pope. Pope talked shit, and he just went, "Oh," pretty much. And I said, "Lego, come on." And he said, "Do you know who I am?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know. You're too nice." And he came out this week, guns a-blazing. I am proud of you, Lego. I will buy you a lap dance next time I see you.
I had to
Welcome.
do you right, Hope. I
Thank
had to
you.
do you right.
That means you don't even know how much that means to me. Like, I'll buy you two. You get a whole champagne.
Welcome
room.
to the left
I
path.
just give me a drink. I
Okay.
just want a drink. And
I drank with Lego once.
also, I wanted to say I have been loving Sentinel Titan for the first time ever because Zur brought with him.
Also, somebody
the-
clip that and send it to
Zur
them.
brought with him the Ursa Furiosa, which I have. That's like the one Titan exotic I have not got. Finally, Zur sold it, bought it. Not only that, it came with fusion rifle dexterity, so I'm prepared for the Crucible. And I had some clutch moments playing comp with Sentinel. It's so good for just blocking and doing the diffuse. I had one game
How do
where
you block?
everyone with the like Captain America.
Oh,
Hove,
okay.
Come on. And
I thought
then
you were literally asking what button press blocks. I was like,
I mean, I don't know.
circle square. I
don't know either.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
But I had one moment where everyone went down on the team and I was able to get a full annihilation team wipe. And on the last kill, get this, because I didn't think I'd get the last kill. There was one guy left and my super came up and was the first person to get super. So I was like, I'm just going to defuse the bomb. Activated the shield, started defusing the bomb, and the other guy just sat down. It was on Midtown, and he sits down the alleyway. And as I'm defusing it, we're all just laughing because he can't do anything. And then at the end, someone in chat goes, "You should just kill him. You should kill him." Yeah. And I was like, I don't think I can. There's not time. And I threw the shield, but I completely missed. Like, threw it at the wall. That way I was like, oh, I didn't get it. Bounces off the wall, head straight for him, and I get the kill. Annihilation.
Of course it
whole
does.
Team wide. That thing, dude, it
The
doesn't.
thing is stupid. I'm pretty sure there is a mechanic written within that code that when that thing hits a wall,
Yeah.
it picks the closest person and takes a straight trajectory
Yup.
towards them, and they're obligated to move at that point.
Yes.
Like, there is some funky voodoo going on with that fucking thing, and I hate it. I hate
Dude.
those shields. I wish those things could fly back and hit you in your own face. That'd be amazing.
There was a clip I had that I put up on Twitter this week. If you want to go check out the physics of this shield, where I threw it, there was two guys like standing like this, and I threw it through the middle of them. And when it goes through the middle of them, it bounces off the wall, hits the first guy, and bounces directly to like the right, like at a 90-degree angle, and hits the other guy. And I'm like, well, that doesn't obey the law of physics.
So you're a
I don't know.
cheater.
The shield cheats. That's
Although
all
to
I'm
be
gonna say.
fair, I mean, it depends on what part of the guy it hits, and I mean, so it's not necessarily disobeying the law of physics.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if that thing touches your fucking big toe, dude. You're toast. It launches you. It vaporizes you in void. That thing could touch a hair on your head and just.
Dude, with
vaporize.
that setup too, I can run my helmet now, which has fusion rifle, like kills with fusion rifles, give you more super energy. And so my super's up all the time between Ursa Furiosa and the fusion rifle super energy. So yeah, just wanted to talk about my week in comp. It was very exciting. I
was
found
very
a new
exciting.
love for Sentinel, and yeah.
I'm erect.
I got up to 3K.
Dude, 3K. Let's go, Wilson. Dude, you have to go for Not Forgotten, man. I
I hate
to.
I should.
You're
And then
so
I
close, and
also
it's the beginning of the season.
I shouldn't bring a downer to the topic, but I'm going to anyway because it's
Yeah.
happening. But
It's worth it.
DDoS be rampant.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're not in that like 45 to 55 range, dude, it is like so hard for me to sit down and watch some of my favorite streamers like Ryan and Joey and One Actual. And I get on in the mornings and I watch Lynch, fellow clanmate.
Yeah,
and
Lynch
it's
is going
just
for it.
everywhere, dude.
Man.
And it's a bummer. And that's all
It
I'm
is a
gonna say
bummer.
about it. I'm not gonna point fingers.
Well,
I'm not gonna say so and so should fix it and this and that, but like it just sucks that it like even like it's happened to me this season. And like I'm not even, like I said, that was before I even hit 3K, and it's just frustrating.
I mean, to be fair, if I ran across you, I would DDoS you probably.
Fair enough, though.
Because
But
I don't
like
want to
that's
lose.
but that's like DDoS with love when it comes from you. I'd be like, all that Hove.
I know Hope's joking, but I don't even like joking about because it's terrible. Like it's so awful, and it's such a Wilson. You talk about it like because for the first time ever, I got disconnected from. I don't know if it was a DDoS or anything like that, but it was real sketch because
it was super.
We
sketch.
just played a team, and then we matched the exact team again, and as soon as the game loaded, I got kicked, and I was
not only that, like it had been a team with. I'm not gonna say it, but I know the PSN because it was that like unique.
Yeah.
That when you run into him again, you're like, I've definitely played this guy.
Like Drooping Beef.
Yes, or Hobbitweed 420. Like that's not the guy I'm talking about, but that is legit PSN that me and Briar were cracking up at.
Yeah,
one
so
day.
is Drooping Beef. Also not a DDoSer, but Drooping Beef.
And then the guys get in chat that's because someone was streaming on our team, and they're like, "We didn't DDoS, that wasn't us," but they're like teabagging and just being like
their
ridiculous.
behavior from getting their ass kicked to us losing a teammate, getting knocked offline, and just like their behavior afterwards was like hella suspect.
It was
and it's just frustrating, and it really takes the wind out of your sails when you and your team are laughing and having a great time, and some little shitlords come along and do some crappy stuff like that. Like, so I don't even stream. Like, there's people that will get raided by like 80 or a couple hundred people, and then they'll log into a match and someone will DOS them. Yeah. And they lose they lose that big viewership that they just got, man. And it really sucks. And I don't know. We should probably stop talking about it because it's super negative, but it is an issue right now, and it's kind of holding me back, but
so like, I don't know how that works. So in chat right now, Atlas was super kind and just gifted 4 subs, which A gets us that other emote, but B, you can just pick and it like subs whoever, like random. It gave a sub to Benedict Cumberbot, which is my bot. So yeah. Also, Apex Chris, who I haven't talked to in I don't know how long.
Dude, Benedict Cumberbot's a dick. He spams all the time.
He does. Yeah.
So thanks. Thank you.
Well, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but I'll
so
try.
now Lego's face.
I want to gain.
no.
I want to gain like 500-600 more points, and then maybe try to team up with Joey and Ryan and see if I can get it done. Because like the point of it is, it's not like you have to be at 3,500 to like. Play with us. It's that they would like to get it done in a sitting.
That's what most like not forgotten helps do. Lynch does it too,
Yeah. And like today they were pulling in people in the early 3,000s. It's whoever's highest in chat at that time.
Yeah.
And like plus you don't want to spend all week to get one not forgotten. You want to like get those people that like, hey, if we go on a 10-game streak, like we could get this tonight, you know what I mean? And there's some sweaty, high octane play going on out there. That's why I've been trying to play like very quick and on my feet and like engage, disengage, push this guy with my teammate. Like, oh, that guy's backing up and leading us into a bait. Just like it's like chess with guns. You know what I mean? And that has been a positive thing with somewhat high, like mid to high level competitive has definitely made me a better player. Because Lego, when
I've noticed it, man.
When Season of the Drifter started, I had taken a break for several
Mhm.
weeks. You know what I mean? And I was extremely rusty, and now I feel a lot more competent than what I did at the beginning of the season. And speaking of which, like, I don't know about you guys, but I was all like on the fence. Like, I'm not going to probably play this expansion much. I
Hmm.
played this expansion probably more than I did definitely Season of the Forge, and definitely hit it probably harder than when Forsaken even came out.
Hit
Wow.
hard.
Content wise, it's super light, but
Uh-huh.
the fucking narrative from the lore
It's good,
Mhm.
man.
this time
yeah.
around has I think it was Byfe who said it, has set a bar. You know what I mean? Like, for
Yeah.
if we don't get a shitload of content, like, we can at least get some really awesome lore, or even if we do get a lot of content but maybe we don't like it, like, hopefully we can still get some like awesome lore and like things to speculate on. But it's been packed, dude.
It has, yeah.
It's been packed.
So I'm gonna, I don't want to say harped on it, but I'm gonna bring this up every content drop, whatever you want to call them now, because I still firmly believe this. So, we had talked originally when the season pass dropped, that let's see, maybe the content wasn't that great the first time, but like let's see how it goes, because you're trickling this out as opposed to getting a DLC, right? So think now, if you look back into D1 and everything, it would have been a November DLC, right? Or December, I'm sorry, which is when the season pass started. And then generally we didn't get anything till May if it was a DLC. April update was like the end of April, so another month
Yeah.
from now, right? So
Yeah.
even though we keep saying, oh, there's not that much, it's just this week, and they added this, and it's light. Just imagine, I'm not saying it would be the biggest one ever, but if December 5th or whatever that day was, if we got 3 new forges, 3 things of reckoning, a new Gambit Prime maps, like, it's getting close to the amount of content or more that would have been in an old school single drop DLC.
Well, I kind of want to play devil's advocate for a second, because I agree with what you're saying, Hove, as far as the amount of content and the enjoyability of it too, especially with this one. Because Season of the Forge, I didn't feel that way, but this one I do. But the difference, I think, in the way I can play devil's advocate is that for PvP players, there's nothing.
I agree
And
with that,
there's
but
a
that has
lot.
nothing to do with the format.
But it does, because in that format, we would get PvP maps. That was the format, and that's not the format now.
But there's nothing stopping them from adding PvP maps. They just aren't.
yeah,
And
I
that
know.
was going to kind of be my next point, was that, like, PvP is in a rough spot right now. I don't think there's any denying that. But I also don't think... Well, I don't want to say there's no denying it, but honestly, PvE I still think is in one of the best spots, if not the best spot it's been in Destiny's history. Like, there's problems. They're going to working on enhancement cores. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's things that are changing and need to be changed. But really, I mean, the PvE side of things is in a really good spot right now, I think.
Yeah.
I would
As a
agree,
casual, especially, like, for me who doesn't, I don't play PvE that much, and it is excellent right now to me. With the combination of story and content, PvE is absolutely excellent, especially given all that I just talked about with the solo raid-like experience stuff. It's all really good.
like, I feel the same way about PvE, but this is also my favorite D2 PvP sandbox as well.
Yeah,
there's
I
a
agree with
lot
that
more
as well.
viability than what there used to be. Shotguns are still annoying right now, and they're not only annoying to like be on the receiving end, but also on the giving end with the inconsistency of the rapid fire frames right now. Just very inconsistent. One game you could be 10 feet away from a guy, one banging with your shotgun. Next game you could be 3 feet closer, hit a crit, and still leave him
Yeah.
absolute. You know what I mean? So it's annoying either way, but 180 hand cannons, no. 180 hand cannons are fine. The rest of hand cannons could use an adjustment.
Gotcha. Mainly accuracy.
Mainly
like,
accuracy, but I don't see any reason why a 140 hand cannon shouldn't 2-tap to the head, one to the body
Agreed.
with
Yeah.
things like Luna and Not Forgotten basically running the Crucible right now. Like, I get it. Like, some people are going to disagree with me and be like, bro, Luna's and Not Forgotten are a problem, and to a certain extent, I agree with you, but I don't feel like we should specifically target those guns for a nerf. I think we should look at why they're overperforming, outperforming every other hand cannon. You know what I mean? Like,
I will say I'm surprised. Like, I kind of feel like they're a problem in that they're, and this is why. They introduced with Redrix a gun that you had to kill someone first to get the reward to do the thing, and same thing with Recluse. They went back to that formula, and with Not Forgotten and Luna's, there is no prerequisite. You just do the thing that it's good at immediately, and that makes it better than anything else right off the bat.
It is. You do have to land your crits, and if you don't land your crits, it's a noticeable difference.
But isn't
in
that
time to
with
kill.
any gun?
I get what you're saying.
Period,
There's less risk for an immediate reward that could then carry over to the next kill. Like, I see what you're saying. They're kind of double dipping in that one, in a sense. Like, skill based, not skill based. Like, where's the balance in it? But like, I don't know. I'm one of those people of like, I like Luna. I like the way Not Forgotten looks and feels and things like that. Like, I don't want to see those guns punished. If anything, I would like the same feeling with Better Devils or Nation of Beasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or maybe give some fucking 110 some love right now. You know what I mean? Because there's absolutely zero reason to ever have a 110 hand cannon on you in PvP.
Sturm and Drang.
Okay, let me take that back. Legendary. Any 110 hand cannon that isn't.
I will
Sturm.
stand by Sturm and Drang for the rest of my life.
Sturm's good, but it's an exotic. You know what I mean?
know.
And like, that's fine. It should be good as an exotic. I'm
You
totally
should
on
be
board
good.
with that.
And as
But
a-
like,
I really
exotic.
think that as far as fixes go for this, that it would help a lot by maintaining, and I can't remember who mentioned this to me. Maybe it was Will or Litland or somebody, but they were like, what if you made Not Forgotten and Luna's exotic, and then you'd have to give up Wardcliff or some other really good thing to run.
I don't think
guns.
Luna justifies being an exotic. The range on
Right.
let me take it back. If they fixed the 357 problem that that Not Forgotten has, like, normally if you hit 2 headshots, the third one's supposed to be like double damage. There's a lot of 357 going on where you tap someone in the head 3 times and you only get 57, 57, 57.
Yeah.
And
I think from what I understand, that's like a tick rate thing.
probably. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it has something. It's not.
I think
the
what it
gun's
is that
problem.
bullet's hitting before the game's registering that you hit 2 crits.
Right. Yeah. That would totally make sense. But like, dude, the range on Not Forgotten, like, dude, I've been outgunned like well outside of pulse rifle range, like to where I'm getting damage fall off with my blast furnace, and I get freaking 3 taps.
That's the thing I think
With
is
it.
the biggest problem with Not Forgotten is, the trade-off between the two, and I think it works well on Luna's, is that Luna's has the really high stability stat and not much range. And Not Forgotten was supposed to have the really high range but a low stability stat. It doesn't feel like that stability difference is enough to me. Like,
it's non-existent.
Right.
Like,
So I think if you...
it seems like it.
Right. Yeah. I know it's not really non-existent.
Yeah.
Hyperbole. But I think that's the biggest problem. I don't feel like that trade-off is as noticeable. There's no reason... it's still... The stability's still great on it. If it was a little bit more... And that's because it's a 180. It's that style with the, like, kick back instead of the kick up. It makes it a lot harder to... notice stability differences.
Luna feels great. Like, you're within proper hand cannon range, and it feels good to 3-tap someone. But then, like, you roll up into comp at, you don't even need to be 3K to be running into 4 stacks of Lunas. And if you don't have several people on your team with Luna to team shot with you, or I'm sorry, with Not Forgotten to team shot against Not Forgotten's, like, you're at a major disadvantage. And I'm not talking like, oh, it's very situational. No, it's every situation you're in. Like, you have to be within range to do damage, to do that 3-tap with Luna, and to get in range, you got to get fucking team shot by 4 people with Not Forgotten. You know what I mean? Like, you just get gunned down before you can even get in that range. Because that's what smart players do. They're not... this isn't D1. Like, don't get me wrong, some people are off on their own tearing shit up, but for the most part, 90% of teams are team shotting and working together, and it's fucking scary, dude, going up against like 4 stack with Not Forgottens when you just got this little Luna's Howl with and this is an exaggeration, what seems like half the range. But
Probably not that far off.
Yeah.
You
it's
get a big
pretty
range
nutty,
bump.
dude. It's pretty nutty.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like that
overall,
fall off's
Wilson,
enough. That's all.
I do agree with you overall, Wilson, that right now I do like this weapon meta better than anything else. I know there's outliers like that, but for me, as like someone who uses a fusion rifle in that spot and plays heavily on my special ammo, like it doesn't really bother me that much that I'm fighting not forgottens when I just come around the corner and insta shoot, like they die instantly to my fusion rifle. They don't even get a chance, you know? And I know that's not the case all the time, depends on the range and all these other situations. So there are outliers on the primary weapon, primary ammo stuff. But, you know, I just wanted to say overall, I agree with you. I love where everything's at right now in D2. And man, it makes me wish that there was more focus on PvP because it's so good right now.
It's just that, like, dude, like, the player population has a lot to do with it right now, at least for the competitive side. And like you said, there's outliers and there's things that need tweaks, and some new game modes here and there, new maps would be cool. I would almost be okay, and we don't have to like go on a huge discussion about this. It could just be like yes, no. If they just kind of squeezed in maybe some old D1 maps every now and then.
Yeah.
Just like we don't have time.
That'd be a great idea. Yeah.
We don't have time to produce new maps, like, because we're committed to this season pass thing right now.
Well, they've kind of said it takes just as much time to bring in
recoding
old
really?
maps. Yeah. I know a lot of people think that it's faster, but it takes just as much time.
That's just the ignorant armchair dev in me.
Yeah, but at least you're not like a dick about it.
Yeah.
True.
Two things quickly. One, with that, have you noticed? Well, I'll do that one second because that might spark conversation. But just to end that kind of sandbox part, I do think it's important to note, especially for anyone who may listen to this, doesn't usually listen to us. I don't think any of the three of us are like, oh God, Luna's not forgotten, get rid of him, blah blah blah. Like you have to recognize it's, like you said, it's an outlier Lego. You know, we there's something that can be done. The other thing is, I think it's also important to note that no matter what, like Lego said with fusions or whatever, and depending on situations, there's always a way to play around and counter a weapon. Granted, there are very, very much, there are times where the options are super limited because of how good the weapon is, or not fun, or whatever it may be. But like, there is a way to play around not forgottens, but it doesn't mean like you should be pigeonholed into that. They need to make it, whether it's with nerfs, buffs, adjustments. The biggest thing is making it so there are counterplays to every weapon. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Well, what makes it?
Go ahead, Wilson.
Oh, I was just gonna real quick, just to like counterpoint that. You're absolutely right. There's totally counters. You're gonna be successful with it sometimes, other times not. But like when you're playing in competitive and there's countdown or control, unless you get clash or survival, which are the two rarest ones to come up in my experience, that could just be a placebo thing. It forces you out of that weapon game type because you have to go to the objective, or you have to you have to plant the bomb, or whatever the objective is for that game mode. There's just like the way that the flow of comp is going right now. It's very, very tricky. And not only that, like, you and your team have to be like fucking synchronized. Like one person stubs their toe on something, like it could throw the whole thing off. Like it's getting to a point where it's like you're not fighting very many one-on-ones. Like you're literally fighting like 4 people in this room and 4 people in that room, and whoever loses someone first, the rest of your team's about to get fucking aped. You know what I mean? Like it's a battle of attrition.
Well, and keep in mind,
is what it seems like.
My point wasn't even like to argue you and what you were talking about. I was more just saying, like, to the listeners, I don't think we ever, or at least often, like to have on this show that kind of this is dumb, get rid of it type of thing. It was just
totally.
that was just kind of my point.
No, I agree. You're right.
But the other
I'm really
thing,
curious what they'll come up with, like as a solution for this, because we don't know. Like it could be it. They always are pretty creative.
The other thing, talking about the sandbox and PvP and everything, have you noticed how absolutely dead quiet the PvP devs have been on Twitter recently?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
So they're working on something. So anyone who when one of them does come up and for air and tweet like, "Hey, I had a baby," don't like flip out. Like they're working.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out too, I see this so much, and I don't think that, I think it came up as a question on a couple episodes ago where it's like, if Destiny dropped PvP, what would you do? Blah, blah, blah. But in all honesty, like, there's like almost no chance that Destiny completely drops PvP, in my opinion. And that as far as PvP goes, assuming they are 100% like we care, which I feel like they do, and I know a lot of people will rant on Twitter that they don't care, but I think they do. I think that, like Ho said, they're working on something, and I think they know that the Trials-like experience was the number one thing that they had, and they're going to try to recreate that, and that makes me very excited for where Destiny could be, or like maybe even D3, whatever it is that they're working on. I'm really excited for whatever they have next, because they know that they're out there playing the game. It's not like they're just in their studio playing the game. These people like actually play the game on their own time too. And like, I know that they're just as frustrated by DDoSing, by, going down glory ranks to a team of Not Forgottens, or, just player lag, all the things that we talk about. Like, they're aware of all of that stuff. They miss Trials, they played the game like we do. And so I know that they want an experience like that again.
Speaking of, oh, go ahead, Hove.
Nope.
Oh, I was just gonna say, speaking of Bungie playing the game, did any of you guys catch the Bungie bounty Gambit Prime?
I did not, but I heard they were really good.
They were whooping some ass, dude. They were playing really good. Like, me and Sam were cracking up because like she was playing Tetris 99, and like I was spacing out watching the Gambit Prime thing. And we were cracking up at like how cool, calm, and composed their call outs are.
They had a quad kill at one point, just
with one 1K voice shot, got the quad kill. It was a gag, and then like the match wasn't even over, and it was like new tweet from Bungie, and they were totally like trying to get some clout on that tweet. They like clipped it and put, but like I thought it was. I normally don't get a chance to watch too many of them, but like this Gambit Prime one was actually really cool. There was some very intense matches, and just to kind of further what Lego was saying, like they do play the game. Like, hell yeah, they played the game, and they play it well too.
Yeah,
that's not me just kissing ass. Those Gambit Prime matches were sweaty. So it was fun. It was cool. And I think somebody on my friends list was actually lucky enough to scoop one during that.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, as that being kind of a I'm gonna play professional here, Lego.
Oh.
As that's kind of the end of that topic, and I know we don't want to run as long as we have recently. We want to move into the TWAB and get to that.
Damn it. There's one.
Lego, this is why I don't try to not derail things.
No.
I'm going back to derailing it. Let's talk about strippers.
No. We do need to move on, but I wanted to move on before we get to the TWAB to Invitation of the Nine. What you kind of hint that it was out, and that's a huge thing that happened this week.
Invitation of the Lego.
I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't done it yet, because I know a lot of people did miss it this weekend. But I will say there is a cutscene, and it was pretty freaking awesome. And there was some other stuff that happened throughout that was awesome too. And they came out and said there's not going to be a cutscene every week, but this isn't the last cutscene. And that there's like a lot more that you'll see coming up. And so it makes me really excited. I think that it's very similar to the way we'd go to the throne room with the queen and get new lore every week. It's very similar to that style, and maybe even like slightly, I won't say more or less interesting, because everything with the queen was really good. And I feel like this is just similar and really good as well.
Show, I don't know who would miss that though.
Wilson, you look like you sneakily have something to say. I'm not sure.
I'm just buzzing a little bit, man. I'm good.
One last thing with the weapon stuff too, because I thought Atlas put a really good question in chat. And I'm just curious, real quick, y'all's answers. If they retired year 1, year 2 weapons in this upcoming September, would you be upset? That's the only way I can see Not Forgotten going away. I don't think that they'll do that personally. I think they'll come up with another change. But if they got rid of year 1, year 2 D2 weapons, would y'all be upset the way they did in D1? Remember,
I don't think they will, is one. 2 is a little bit harder, because I mean, you know how I am. It's kind of like whatever. Like, to me. Like, yeah, I'd be like, man, that sucks. I like using whatever gun. But
Yeah.
it's hard for me to, like, really get that upset about stuff. But thirdly, no, they absolutely should not do that. I think that was done out of necessity originally in D1, right? When they completely overhauled the light leveling and everything. And they had said, there's a point where they said at launch of D1, they knew that their progression system was not going to cut it long term. And they had been working that the whole first year to overhaul it. And they knew that was going to happen. So,
Yeah.
no, I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they should do it. And yeah, I'd be like, okay, that sucks, and then I would move on. So
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think they will do it. I don't think they should do it. Mainly, I don't think they should do it because one of the biggest, like, most valid vocal complaints that I hear is PvE players are tired of shit getting nerfed because of PvP stuff.
Right.
And I'm totally okay with that. So if they did do that, if they did go that route, they would still need to make those, you know what I mean? I'd hate to see those weapons not viable in PvE because of a PvP gun. They'll figure out a solution. I think that it's sad, but I think they're just going to have to balance some of the crucible around that weapon. And if they did leave it behind, that would mean that, like, all quick play, competitive, and not just Iron Banner would have to be light level.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I didn't even think of that. If they did it the way they did it in D1 and just didn't make them come forward, they would still run Crucible.
It would
still
only
run
hurt
quick
PvP.
play.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any way in hell they wipe the slate clean at a DLC and say, you have no guns.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell.
Not at a DLC. A new game like they did for D2. 100%,
Right.
But
New
not,
game,
yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you, Hove. Not a DLC.
Yeah. Let's move
good question.
on. Yeah, it's a good question. Let's move on to the TWAB, like Hove was saying.
Yeah,
We
'cause
got
Hove's
a
smart.
new Iron Banner coming out.
I was
First
gonna
and
ask you
foremost-
excited about this one?
Dude, I actually
No.
am.
Because I know
one
why.
reason alone.
I know
Because
why.
they're bringing back a fusion rifle that's high impact. The Wizen Rebuke is coming back. And here's the thing, though. I'm cautiously optimistic, and this is the reason why. Because they've offered it as a curated role if you do a certain bounty set. And I wonder, will you be able to... I've heard other people say yes, it can, but I haven't seen a dev or it in the TWAB that you can get it random rolled just, randomly. Because that's what I want. I want it to just... I'm going to play as much Iron Banner as it takes to get an under pressure one, if that's the case.
Go to Bungie.net and you can see all the perk rolls that you can get on it.
Oh, well, is that the old version? No, it has to be the new version.
No, it's because
You're right.
Aztec Cross was dissecting that today, going through all the different perk sets that you can get.
Well, in
And,
that
yeah.
case, that's
Under
why
pressure
they were saying good.
rangefinder dog.
There we go. I'm ready. So it's a knockoff Air Intel. Hopefully, if it replaces my Air Intel, that would be incredibly impressive.
I mean, you got a good chance of getting a good one this time around. I'll grind the hell out of it with you.
Dude,
I'm a PvP
I'm gonna,
maniac
that's
right now.
all I'm gonna do.
That reminds me, I was playing with Dewey the other day. And he's like, I had to get off real quick, and I just went and turned in a whole bunch of gunsmith parts, and I got like 4 air tells.
Oh, shut up! You did not.
No, you were there. No, Dewey.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
on, and I was like, Dewey, tell him what you got from the gunsmith. And Lego was like, no, you didn't. Dude was like, I have like 3 or 4 air tells. He was like, is this one any good? And he read it off, and Lego was like, oh my god, that's like every perk I
It
want.
was so good. Yeah, it was a really good one.
It's funny how your friends get all the shit you want, like
I know.
always.
I did, for the first time like ever, get an Air Intel to drop this past week, but it was just crap. It was completely crap rolls, and I was like, "He's serious."
That reminds me on a totally different topic. Did I ever tell you guys about that supremacy I got?
I was just getting ready to say I have to go to the bathroom, but then I was like, no, I legitimately want to hear what Hope say. I'm going to the bathroom.
Well, aside from, one of my favorite gun archetypes coming in the new Iron Banner, there's some pretty other huge stuff, which is probably where the rest of people listening to this podcast are waiting to hear about. Because, yeah, there's some huge... I'm just going to have to read it off because it sounds a little complicated. It's not once you get a grasp on it. But basically, they're offering 2 different enhancement things you can do during Iron Banner. One of them is a challenge called the Iron Burden consumable that lowers your power by 100. and so it makes you like super weak to everyone else. But you get more rewards, and so I guess in doing this, you have a chance that throughout the season, I think you have to defeat 500 opponents.
Yeah.
That's how you get the curated Wizen Rebuke. And I'm sure maybe there's other rewards associated with running this consumable, like maybe you get more tokens or something they didn't specifically say. But that's one thing you can do. And for those that are weak right now, like in power level, if you say you're starting out and you haven't really played much Destiny at all, you can get a different consumable called the Wolf's Favor, I think. Yeah. Yep. And this will grant you a temporary 100 power level increase up to 700 for 30 minutes. So that way, if you don't have much light level, like maybe Hove here, you can get up to light level 700.
What do you think I'm at, Lego?
Actually compete in Iron Banner.
What do you think
Hove,
I'm at?
if I were to guess, I would guess you're at 672.
You're not right.
Is it lower?
Don't worry about
it. So yeah, basically this solves one of my problems with Iron Banner, where like I didn't want to play because I didn't do much PvE, so I wasn't very highlight. I actually am really highlight right now because I wanted to do tier 3
Wilson's
Reckoning.
Really high too.
But the problem is I just don't see the point of any of this. Like, what is the point
warming
of all this light level stuff? You know what I mean though? Like, I don't even understand why light level is even a thing in Iron Banner still. Like, they're trying to fix a problem that doesn't even need to be a problem to begin with, in my opinion.
I know. I was super excited too. I was like, yes, I'm like almost max light level. Finally, I get to like
and then it
gun down some slackers this time around. You know what I mean? And then I was like, I saw that and I was like, oh well.
Well,
I mean, they're not giving them out like trick or treat candy. Like, you're not just gonna like go knock on Zavala's door and he's gonna be like, here, Guardian, and like give you 10 of them. Like, he might. He might.
If him and Akora had a good night, he might be in a giving mood.
Actually, you get it says how you get them. Actually, it says Wolf's Favor consumable has a chance to drop from daily heroic story missions, Vanguard strikes, Nightfall, flashpoints, Gambit, Forsaken only, and weekly milestones from Ikora and Hawthorne.
So they are handing them out like trick or treat candy.
I think it's a chance though. That's a chance from all those, right?
Like, it says
a chance could be 99%.
Have you met Bungie?
Yeah.
I mean, I met a few of them, but like as a whole, no.
Hey, what do y'all think of the new gear? The new Iron Banner gear?
Can we talk about those consumables?
Sure, yeah, I guess. Sorry, I got distracted by the shiny thing rotating in front of me.
I like the idea, and part of me at first, I really like the Wolf's Favor one, because that was a big... I don't know why. It's a detailed discussion that we could go into forever as to why it seems to be more of a problem in D2 than it used to be in old D1 when light level mattered. But that's whatever.
It's because it matters more now. That's why. Because it's a lot more difficult. Like,
listen, Lego, you're not not my dad.
Yeah, okay.
I really like that one for anyone who's lower. They've started to give like those bounties from the Drifter to get you up to 640 for this. The Gambit Prime stuff and the Reckoning. They have this. I like that. And then part of me, at first glance with the Burden one that takes you down 100, I thought to myself, like, man, I think all of us have played one of the earlier Iron Banners where we were like 20 to 50 light lower, and it was really fucking hard. Like 100 drop is a lot.
It's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, there's only... And then, like, that kind of grew into, like, there's a very small subset of people that I think would be able to do that. And then I realized, like, that's perfect. Like, that's a thing that the really high-level people that really want to challenge can do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, like, when we've had people, like, when we had Slayerage on and Chad and some of them that do, like, raid things, they go into this looking to create a new challenge for themselves. They've already beaten the game the way it's been designed. Let's create a challenge by limiting ourselves, by handicapping ourselves, right? And this is just kind of a built-in way to do that. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not that good at PvP, but, like, I get it.
You just got to get a shot on someone and you'll get credit for the kill.
Oh yeah.
Still
maybe.
though, man, like 100 light level, like that's a
No,
fucking
I'm fine
lot.
with that. Pop that shit. Come into my
Pop
lobby.
that put-
Get on the other team. Let me body shot you with my sniper. I'm down.
Dude, I
all
am
about
excited,
it.
Wilson, for that because we said how we're high light level and it won't really matter. For the people doing that 100 light level below challenge, which I won't be because I don't want that curated roll Wise and Rebuke. I want a random rolled one. And so
Do you know what's
I'm
on
just
it?
gonna be slaying
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
said
they
what's on it.
released the
So,
specs.
What's on it is where is it? I don't know where it is.
I was
It's
just
not
hoping
on
it would come
this
out to be
page.
exactly the role you wanted.
No, if it was, I would totally go 100 light level under.
I know,
for it,
that's
but
what I mean. I wanted to watch you torture yourself.
no, it's not.
Not like
It's
Hostile
not
style,
listening.
just like Destiny style.
So yeah, they're also bringing back the grenade launcher, Orwin something.
Wing?
Orwin's
yeah,
Mall.
Mall.
one of those things. Yeah.
Hit you at the mall.
And so maybe Wilson, that'll help you out because I know that the grenade launcher can roll with similar stuff that the one from Lake of Shadows can.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
really?
So yeah, it could be an alternative maybe for you.
Dude, come on, Lake of Shadows
Maybe.
next week, and please fix Nightfall high scores, please.
What's
Oh,
wrong with the
right.
high scores?
You can't
It
get
won't-
them.
It doesn't work right
Oh.
for some reason. Yeah.
Broke it. High score.
What do y'all think about the gear now that we've talked about that?
I
the
never
shiny
really care about gear that much, but the Hunter looks
Dude.
pretty neat.
The Titan actually looks like slim and not bulky shoulder like.
He lost
I'm
weight.
kind of I'm interested.
I haven't even seen the armor. That's how bad I am.
Dude,
Yeah,
you
the-
go check
the-
out- I don't think
Is the
Hunter
cloak dope? Is the cloak dope?
I like it. It's not great, but it's not bad.
It's fine.
You're
Let's
right,
see
though,
this
Lego.
thing.
The Hunter actually looks thicker than the Titan.
Yeah, the Titan looks thin, and the Warlock the Warlock and Titan just look slick, which I kind of
Dude,
like.
that armor looks fire.
Right? I think it looks pretty good.
Dude, that cape is lit, dude.
That is that.
I'm gonna add that to my collection, dude. I love capes, man. Again, I wish we lived in a society where it was acceptable to wear a cape like that. It'd be dope. It feels so
man.
important.
Well, did y'all have anything else that y'all are excited about for Iron Banner? I think that's about
Nope.
I'm just
Let's
excited
get into
because like
cores.
people are gonna be in PvP looking to get some light level
Right.
gains, man. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be randomly rolled. What? Okay, so it's just the fusion rifle and the grenade launcher coming back, and then if you turn in 20 tokens, you can just get a random weapon with random rolls or armor.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Hell
slay.
yeah. Give me another. What the hell was that sniper that I said I was just using? The
Bite of the
gosh
Fox.
dang it, Bite of the Fox.
Not
Yeah.
the Supremacy?
No, not the
Oh,
Supremacy.
okay.
I don't have one, but my Bite of the Fox is it's pretty good here. Let me look at these perks here on Dim. I've got opening shot, which is
Yeah.
good. Accuracy and range. I got snapshot. I got extended mag, so it takes it from a 3 to a 4. And then I've got it's an aggressive frame, obviously, and then I got handling for my masterwork, and it is very good. So
I like
mean,
that.
there could be a better one out there. I'll try to get it.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Let's do well, we've got some big stuff to talk about with enhancement cores because this has been probably the hottest topic other than the lack of PvP recently. This has been like the overall hottest thing in Destiny has been enhancement cores and the lack thereof for people because we can't masterwork stuff, we can't upgrade stuff. We're so scared of the scarcity of it. And I go back and forth on how big of an issue it is for me personally. But Bungie's aware of it, and so basically their response has been, "Hey, we know this is a problem," and they're trying to figure out what they want to do in regards to it. And they have a solution that they have presented. But one of their goals with the infusion system, they said, is they want it to be like a difficult choice still. Hope you can correct me if I'm interpreting this wrong. But the way I read it is they want it to be like a key material that makes you make a choice as far as like what you want to take forward or what you want to make better. And they want to keep it as a scarce material, but they
A what?
realize that it's too scarce. It's too there's not enough of it.
Can you
right
just say scarce again?
It sounds
No,
like
please.
SARS, the disease. Y'all got some scars? What up, man? Like,
I don't know where that came from. But
It's
anyway,
a Texas in you.
to fix it and to make more of them available during the season of the opulence, they want to provide more access to them. So they're going to make scrapper bounties.
They're gone.
Well, yeah, they're gone. And that was like one of their solutions, but it wasn't working right. And so in their place, the gunsmith will now offer a selection of daily and weekly bounties that can be purchased for gunsmith materials. As with the scrapper bounties, each of these will include, among other things, an enhancement core as the reward when completed. So this is pretty similar to a lot of people are like, Xur should have bounties that give you enhancement cores. That was one thing I saw thrown out a lot. And to me, this is even better than that because the gunsmith's always available. You can always get stuff from him. And we always tend to have some amount of weapon parts. The only downside to this is someone like me who wants an air intel, and that's all I use my weapon parts for, so I have none now. But for most people, I feel like weapon parts, you probably got a bit of them sitting around. Go get some bounties for some enhancement cores. What do y'all think about
I think it's like, I get what they're saying. I agree with it to a certain extent, but I feel like that whole premises was thrown out the window when it takes like 15 plus masterwork cores to masterwork a weapon. Like infusion is a stepping stone, dude. It's not this like grand end game. Like in my opinion, like finding the weapon with the role that you want and then masterworking it is the commitment.
I agree.
Infusing something to light, there's shit I won't even infuse. I'm like, I'll just roll this because it's at 700 right now. And I just don't feel like infusing it into something else because like I only have 14 masterwork cores or whatever. I'd rather wait till I find a weapon because eventually if I keep playing, these weapons are going to keep rolling in at max light, not all of them, but most of them. And I feel like the true end game of like the decision you make with the weapon is not putting it up to 700, is fully masterworking it, in my opinion. But we're gonna have more cores around, so cool. Hopefully, I'm down.
Yeah,
more's better.
I'm happy with this. I definitely think it'll be better. I do agree wholeheartedly with what their goal was from the beginning, to make it a choice. Whether you're talking masterworking or infusion, I'm just going to lump these together, that it isn't just like, oh, I got this weapon, let me just masterwork it, let me make it 700, cool, I'm done. Like with any weapon you get. So I liked and agreed 100% with the fact that like you had to make a choice. Is this weapon good enough? Do I want to just keep using it because it dropped at 700? I'm trying to move up. Do I want to infuse another weapon? I'm good with that. I think this will make that a lot easier. I do think this will lean, depending on how many there are, I think this will lean more towards making it less of a choice than it's never going to hit the point that I think they wanted. I think that's a super thin line that with such a varying base of people playing, from casual. I don't think you're ever going to find a system that makes it that choice for everybody, but I think they're better off leaning into the side that'll let people do it easier than be screwed with not being able to use stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So like I said, I don't think they'll ever hit that. I just think you have too many varying types of players. There's just too many variables for that to ever be a perfect system. I do understand what they were going for, but that was never going to happen. So I'm glad that, if I'm right, that this is leaning more towards people having more than they need and being able to do more masterworking easier than Bungie was hoping, as opposed to vice versa.
I think the problem is what Wilson said.
I thought you were going to say it's Wilson.
Yeah, I have a huge problem.
A lot of people are struggling with infusing stuff, and that leaves them not able to masterwork stuff. Because since they've made this change, like where they're so hard to get and everything, since they've changed the masterworking system, I haven't masterworked a single thing because I'm always using it for upgrading my favorite gear, and I just don't have anything left. And so I am just in this dilemma of like, I just think if there were a little bit more, then I would be able to masterwork stuff. Or if they just had a different system, like a different thing that you use for masterworking versus upgrading stuff light level wise, because I think those are almost two different things. But I'm fine with this, and I hope that this makes it me able to masterwork a little bit more frequently.
Keep in mind, you're having that issue, and you're somebody that, well, I know you don't grind the crap out of it. You play a lot of Destiny.
I do.
So look at the people that just run through the content, just to get through it, and then come back for the next release, and they're not gaining any enhancement cores that entire time. So there's people a way worse off than you.
That's pretty bad,
me,
man.
And Wilson. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think they're better off leaning towards the side of people having too many.
Agreed. All. we want it to be a decent experience for everyone. That seems pretty harsh. If I'm playing this much an hour thing, that's rough for someone who's playing more casually.
That kind of goes both ways because you play a lot, so you have more stuff that you like to use. So it goes both ways. But like I said, I think most importantly for something like this that doesn't affect... I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't really affect the gameplay directly, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're better off leaning into letting people have more of it than less.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's good change, guys. Yeah. Good change. Oh, there was something Marvel related at the end of the TWAB here. We got a movie of the week. Someone put the Avengers Infinity War actual Infinity War trailer, the epic one, and just remashed it to Destiny cutscenes, and it's awesome. Just had to throw that out there. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty great. I saw one of the devs talk about it and saying how awesome it was, and then finally got to see it in the TWAB, and it was pretty good, man.
Hell yeah.
But that's all I got. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to throw out here before we wrap things up this episode? I'm excited for I'm actually excited for Iron Banner. It's weird.
Me too, man.
So I guess it's doing its job, these changes. I didn't think the changes were that cool, but here I am excited. So
you're easily excitable.
You gonna be around Tuesday at reset?
Dude, yeah, man.
Let's do it. Let's go in there. Let's be 100 light level above everyone.
Yeah. I mean, it still only goes up to 700.
Yeah.
Well, everybody else is gonna take the Kool-Aid.
Everybody. Everybody but you.
But us.
Hope's gonna take the Kool-Aid that buffs him 100, and everyone else is gonna debuff 100.
That makes me think of something. I have a really important question.
Okay.
What's the best flavor of Kool-Aid?
Do you know how long it's been since I've had Kool-Aid?
It should be less than 24 hours.
No, it's been years, like 24 years.
I said Ecto Cooler, and then I realized that's high C.
Yeah, but I mean, fair enough. But that's a good yeah, you're good.
Can I say a Gatorade flavor? Or...
No, you can't.
No, it's got to be Kool-Aid. So I'm gonna go with.
Let me look.
Cherry.
Really?
Oh, you just gave me the look like the guy did at the end of Indiana Jones, where he's like, he has chosen poorly. Like, you gave me that look.
Hold on, I have to look on Amazon real quick to see what are the current flavors.
You can't go wrong with orange either. That's pretty
there's an easy answer. The Atlas in chat said the answer is red. Red Kool-Aid. If the question was Kool-Aid. What stains your clothes the most, red Kool-Aid is the answer.
Absolutely. I would say vodka flavored Kool-Aid.
Blue raspberry lemonade.
It's gonna say tropical punch, I think.
Ooh, that exists?
Oh yeah, that was my favorite.
Say that
forever.
again?
Me?
Yeah.
Blue raspberry lemonade.
Ooh. Just sounds refreshing on a hot summer day. I didn't know they were dipping into multi flavors, bro. I thought they kept it basic bitch, one thing. No, you get orange.
Dude, that came out when I was 12.
I'm slacking, dude. I guess I was hitting the Ecto Cooler pretty hard back then.
Ecto Cooler. I'm pretty sure I drank so much Ecto Cooler I peed green. I think that happened. I'm not yeah.
I had a buddy do that with Monster energy drinks.
I can't wait till my wife is looking through you know how your recently viewed things show up on Amazon, and she hops on Amazon and there's variety pack up. Yeah. And she's like, what is he doing?
Ordering Kool-Aid, baby.
Yeah. No, you want some Kool-Aid? You don't want to drink the Kool-Aid?
I don't think there's ever been a flavor of Kool-Aid that I was like, nah, fam, I'm good.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way Kool-Aid go.
All right. Well, real quick.
I'm not done.
No. I just want to think while we have this second lull in the conversation to thank our sponsors with microphones and headphones because they are amazing, giving us these microphones to use. We can't thank them enough for letting us sound great every week. And if you want to learn more about these amazing products, you can go to bluemic.com, get 20% off yourself using code RezoCast. So please go check them out. Use that code. Sounds great. It makes your laugh sound great, like Hove and Wilson's laugh here.
Oh, you would have laughed too if you would have been looking at chat. Our chat.
I purposely didn't.
Discord chat.
Wouldn't have been able to.
Lego, you are a good Christian boy.
There's
Avoid
nothing
DMs.
bad. There's nothing bad in it.
Avoid the DMs.
There's nothing bad in it.
Someone's in my DMs now? What?
Both me and Hove. Watch yourself.
No, all that 100% of the time.
And I assure you, it is not safe for work.
I mean, technically it is.
I mean, really?
Yeah. It's not like anything.
Let me put it this way: would you wear that on your T-shirt going into work?
I can't wear a T-shirt to work.
Nah, fair enough. You got me, you son of a bitch. You win this round, all right?
But so we got another. Oh, Wilson doesn't care, so I'm not gonna talk Marvel.
That's fine, dude. I'm eating
No.
a peanut butter and jelly
I
sandwich
mean-
right now, dude. I am
Is it the
entertained.
Endgame trailer?
We don't. I feel like we don't get to connect as much, Wilson. I want to bond with you, and we can't do
I'm
that.
bonding with this peanut butter and jelly
Dude,
sandwich right now. It's so
the new suits that everyone's wearing in Endgame, it's pretty awesome.
It's dumb. I don't even want to see that movie.
You don't need to shut up.
Did you
Love
notice
it.
in my
It's amazing.
in Discord? Someone posted the link to the new trailer, and everyone was like, "Yeah, awesome!" And Dewey comes in like an hour later and goes, "Meh, maybe I'll catch it on Netflix." Meanwhile, he's just as excited as anybody, but Dewey.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Meanwhile, Hove is texting Triton. You still gonna go see this with me?
Oh, I don't want to go anywhere with
Oh.
Triton.
Yeah, sure.
I'm done with him.
Y'all went to the movies once together, right?
Yeah, to see
No?
like Indiana Jones in like 1992.
Oh.
I made that up.
Jeez.
It wasn't that long ago.
92. I was like, which Indiana Jones? I bet that was fucking lit.
Yeah, I know, right? It was a fan flick.
It was a fan flick. Yeah.
Indie.
Yeah.
Indie.
It was an indie movie.
Ah!
Oh god, that was a bad joke.
That was really bad. We should end the show now.
We should end it on a bad joke for sure.
Yeah, we should definitely.
I just want to point out, I've done a little derailing, but like I've been almost physically in pain the last like 3 weeks.
You got a fart?
No, like trying. It's kind of like that though.
It's kind of like a fart.
It's kind of like, if you have like really bad indigestion and gas. There's so many things I want to get out. Like there's so many things I've been wanting to say, and I got to derail a little bit here and there, but I feel like I've been pretty good, and I'd just like a little, a little credit.
Tonight you were hella profesh.
No,
So
I was
proud
not.
of you, Hove.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
you
with
were.
as far as keeping on track, like I'm not trying to throw you the biggest bone here. I'm trying to throw you a morsel of a bone and just say, as far as keeping on track, you were hella profesh.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I'll throw you a freaking bone here. All right.
I'm gonna be I'm super. I don't know why you guys ever thought I wasn't professional.
Oh, well, this has been Lego, aka Legole Flash. You can find
wait.
me on Twitter, Twitch.
We're about to get a
YouTube.
question in chat, an important one.
He just cut off the show.
He did. As soon as he was like, "I've been professional
no.
this whole episode."
No.
Outro. I'm
In-
just gonna cut him
In
off.
all
Give me that
seriousnness,
bone back.
look.
Give it
Whoa.
back.
Atlas
Wait, hold.
Atlas said in
Hand
chat.
over the bone.
No,
Hand
Atlas
over
said
the
in
bone.
chat. Listen, I'm here for the viewers. He said, I need
right.
to hear this from you guys. I'm doing laundry, so I just remembered this question. What is the best article of clothing to put on directly out of the dryer? And the answer is whatever's going to touch your balls.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
A close second, socks or hoodie.
Yeah, that's fair. But balls.
A close second, I said, not a commanding first
No.
place.
Listen, Lego, I'm a man of the people. I'm here for the viewer. We are nothing
I'm thinking
Without-
about the
I
question.
just thought
We
of
are
something
nothing
fucked up. I'm
with-
not even gonna say it.
without people like Atlas who support us, Lego. I'm not going to ignore him like you
Lego
told me
lay
to.
lol. Kim.
That's pretty good, Kim. Yeah, I think boxer briefs, Atlas. I think you're right, man. Like
Boxer briefs? You guys wear briefs?
Boxer
Yeah.
briefs.
boxer
Just wear
briefs.
boxers, bruh.
What is this?
It's
fucking
too.
1998?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I like my clothes.
listen,
Balls,
listen.
then, Wilson.
Wilson, I had a long period where I wore boxers. Try a good pair of boxer briefs. They're life changing.
Me and Hover on the
Sam
same
bought
side
me this
about
pair of boxer briefs, and they were like, how do you describe it? They're like, not nylon, but like kind of like
Sounds
nylon.
awesome.
Like I
Silk?
felt like I was an Olympic like diver. Like I don't know, just very tight,
Oh,
but in the form of boxer briefs. But it was like nylon.
that sounds like a boxer brief.
I'm not a fan of it. Like I like room and air and breathable
Yeah,
air.
no, you got to get them like the right size. So, like you want the support. You don't want to be flopping around over there.
I don't mind the little flopping around. Anyway, this is I'm gonna eat my
Listen,
sandwich.
I'm gonna tell you, out of the dryer or not, one of the best parts of my days is putting on a nice pair of boxer briefs.
You know me. I'm a very free guy. All right, I'm very very minded and free, but I can't get behind the boxer brief.
Well, to be fair, and this
Teach their own.
isn't to cut up on you, Wilson, but for someone, well, when you're doing the construction, I was gonna say you like to sit around and smoke a lot of weed, so you don't need the, you're not out doing a lot of sports and activities and stuff. But I'm telling you,
Pretty chill.
yeah, so you're not worried about like if they like bang off your leg or something. But I'm telling you, man,
Wow.
I'll send you a link.
Maybe I'll try them for work.
Yes, the
For
support.
yeah, maybe I'll try them for work.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Kim. Why are we talking about ball stuff?
I don't know, Kim. I don't know.
Can I
Lego's
have
gonna
my
cut this
bone
whole
back?
end out.
I am. I
No,
am right
you
now.
can't.
This has been. I'm just kidding. I'm not. This
can
has
do
been
what he
Lego.
wants.
You wouldn't hurt my
AKA
feelings.
Lego
You would
Lego
hurt
Life.
Atlas's feelings.
You can find me at Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and in the comp playlist, and playing Gambit Prime, and doing Reckoning Tier 3 because I'm finally highlight level enough to do it, and in the Iron Banner next week, getting that fusion rifle.
That's right.
Hove, where can they find you?
In a nice pair of warm boxer briefs. Somebody else go, please.
Probably your best one yet.
Yeah, I can't even top that. I was gonna say you could find me finishing my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I don't think I can after that because that was a good laugh. So hit me up on Twitter at Ryu Wilson. I'm thinking we'll talk more. Actually, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna talk to something that with these guys after the podcast so that we could get you guys, the listeners, more interacted with us, and I have a great idea. So maybe we will announce that next week.
We'll also be
sounds
announcing
good.
next week, well, sometime before then, a giveaway that we're going to be giving away 3 things next week. 3 pieces of blue gear. Not 1, not 2, but 3.
Nice.
Also, for real though, you can find me
I was gonna
on
say.
Twitter and Twitch at Hove76 for either one. That's HOV76. And thanks to Atlas, shout out to him, gifted 4 subs. We hit 25 sub points, which means the Laysac emote is coming to a computer near you.
Wow.
That's
Not
Lego's face.
referring to our boxer brief.
Yeah, totally
conversation,
different.
No,
But
It should be Lego Lay Lol.
yeah, but it has to be Hove76
has
at the
to be
beginning. That has
Hove.
to be my prefix. So like Hove76, Lego Lay Lol. No one's ever gonna remember that. I agree with you. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, that'd be me.
guess I need to do it.
The only other thing, I forget what it was, but it was gonna be funny. I'm gonna just ramble here for a second until I can think of it. I think I'm out. I can't. I'm done.
Well, you can also find RezoCast on Twitter at RezoCast. Be sure to check
I
it
know what it
out,
was.
have a conversation with us, ask some questions for the host for next week, and you can find more about Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter, our clan, which is the reason we started this whole thing. And Hove, what do you got?
I was just gonna say, I don't remember a specific time, but like, I stayed 1 year with each of you in a house for Guardian Con. There was definitely had to be a time I was just walking around in my boxer briefs.
There was definitely a time that you cut out for me.
I had
Yeah.
like I just like I woke up in the morning and I just came out to the kitchen like in my boxer briefs, just like walking
Yeah,
around.
100%.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fair enough.
We're all men
You
here.
also had like a wife beater on, my chain, my hat, and was walking around
Listening
to
to 50
50 Cent
Cent.
music. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was my favorite. When Marcus was like, "Why are you wearing a wife beater?" And I was like, "The better question, Marcus, is why do you not wear a wife beater?" And he made fun of me
and
for a
then
few
2
minutes.
seconds later, you're like, I have 6 more in my.
I went.
In my suitcase.
That was when we were going to bed. I went into the like dresser in the room and I took a picture of all of them because I wear them as undershirts, like walking around.
It was great.
Love you.
All right,
Love you, Marcus.
everyone.
Love you, everybody.
Thanks for listening this week, y'all. Until next time. GG.
GG's.
What am I supposed to say? There was something I say. What do I say?
Bye.
Bye. That's it.
That's what it was.